everyone, welcome to Take It Higher, and today we are going to learn about basic Python. We are going to learn basic syntax of Python so that you can solve any basic level competitive coding problems. So let's get started. In my previous videos, I have talked about what is coding language and what is coding. So coding is nothing but a way to communicate with the computer and tell your computer what to do and what not. And there are many coding languages and Python is one of those coding languages. So now why Python? Because Python is very easy to learn and it is very useful. You can use Python for making apps, making softwares, making web apps, making websites, doing machine learning, statistics and many more. So Python is like that one friend in your friend group and who can do many things. So Python is exactly like that. So currently I am using Google Colab. Like you can search for Python interpreter. Also you can do Python in your local machine by downloading Python, or you can use Jupyter Notebook. So let's start with the coding part. First let's talk about comments. Comments are basically those lines of things which you want to ignore. Basically you are commenting the code. So how to write a comment in Python? You just put a hash before the line and it will make the line as a comment. So if I run this cell, it will give output as 5. So this line is not getting printed and this is also not giving any error. So if you want to comment out more than one line, you just need to put 3 quotes. This will comment out the portion of code. Next, let's talk about declaration. So before doing any coding, you want to store your value somewhere, right? So how to store a value in a variable? So basically you write the name of the variable and then you give the value, okay? So this is how you store a value. So you can put anything there. So in this way, in a variable using equal to sign, you can assign any value. So if you want to assign these 2 values in a single line, how you can do that, okay? You can use a semicolon actually, and then you can put a variable. See, it will not give any error and 25 will be printed, okay? Also there is one more way to assign a variable. You just put comma. Again, it will not give any error. This is how you can assign value. Basically when you write it using comma, so the first value will be assigned to the first variable, the second value will be assigned to the second variable. Now let's talk about data types, like which type of data you can store in variables or in what kind of data structure you can store your data, okay? So you can store boolean data types like true or false. So this is a boolean data type, okay? So you can write true as well. Next there is number. You can put any type of number like integers, float, double, long int, anything, okay? Any kind of number can be stored. Next let's talk about strings. Strings are basically any words or sentence. So anything in a quotation sign is basically string, okay? You can iterate through strings. Like if this is a string, so each character has an index value. So string at 0th index will be only t, okay? So as string is iterable, you can also do slicing on strings. So slicing means you can print a portion of string, okay? So 1:6 means from index 1 up to 6 means till 5 it will print. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this much will be printed. Then let's talk about list. List is another type of data structure or collection where you can store data, okay? So list is basically heterogeneous, means you can store any type of data together. See, the first 3 are integers, then I have a string, I have a boolean, I have a float, everything is stored in a list. So this is why list is called heterogeneous. Now another property of list is mutable, means you can change the value in a list. So if I assign the 0th index as n, this should be changed. So now 1 is replaced by n, okay? That's why list is mutable. Next is tuple. Tuples are same as list. It can also store heterogeneous data, but the main difference is tuples are immutable, okay? So you cannot change a value in tuple. If I try to assign n in 0th index, so it will give me an error that tuple object does not support item assignment, right? Because tuples are immutable. Now next data structure is dictionary. So in dictionary, you store data as a key value pair. So in a list, we were traversing the data using the index value, like at 0th index, 1th index. Now in dictionary, the key value is mapped to a data. If I try to print 0, it should give me error because there is no key named 0, okay? So key can be anything. A string also can be a key. It need not to be integers always, okay? Next is dictionary is also mutable. Like if I want to change the data value of a key, I can change that. So I had name there, I want to change it to A. So let's run this cell. Now it is changed. So next is none. Okay, when we try to say there is nothing, okay, 0 is also a value itself, 0 is also integer, but if we try to say that there is nothing, we say null. See, if we try to print the type of n, it is none type. Okay, so next is printing. So you have seen that I was printing the things. So you can print in many ways. So the first thing is, if you try to print or give some output, you simply write print and you can get the output. Okay, so this is a simple hello world program. Every programmer does in every language they try to learn. So now if you want to put a variable in between a print statement, okay, so you can just use formatting. You write f and then in curly braces you write the variable, and then that variable will be replaced. In this way you can print a variable in your print statement. Now let's talk about conditions. Conditions are like, if this condition is true, do this, else do that. Okay, so suppose b is a variable which is having some value. So we have written a condition like, if b is greater than 50, write yes, else print no. So b is 43, b is not greater than 50, so it is printing no. So if I want to write this whole thing in a single line, how am I gonna write? Okay, you need to write what you want to print. If the condition is true, okay, you write yes if b is greater than 50. Okay, then else write no. That is how we write the whole if condition in one statement. So now suppose you want to give one more condition. Okay, like when b is equal to 50, then print okay. So how we write that? You need to write elif. Elif is basically else if. So in short, elif. This is the Python syntax. So when I am writing elif, so another condition is added. So when b is equal to 50, it will print okay. So how do we write this whole thing in a single line? So first we need to print yes if b is greater than 50. Else, what is our next condition? We will print okay if b is equal to 50. Else we will print no. So this is how you write when there are more than one conditions, more than if else. When there is elif, you need to write in this way. So b is 53, this falls under the first condition, so it is printing yes. When it is 50, it will print okay. Next is loop. If you want to print 1 to 5, you will not write print 1, print 2, you will not write. You will write a loop for which it will print from 1 to 5, right? So loop basically means round and round. So this is how you traverse using loop. So there can be two types of loop, for loop and while loop. So suppose this is a list, L is 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a list. So for item in L, item is a variable that can be anything. You can write I, you can write anything. So we are printing item. So we are printing 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way. This is how you write loop. If you want to print them in a single line, write end equal to, suppose semicolon or comma, and run it. See, instead of printing a new line, it will print comma after each print. Next is while loop. So in simple English language, what we can say, while this is happening, keep doing this. Okay, so while I is less than 3, we will printing the L value. Okay, so once we print the value, we are just incrementing the I. If we do not increment it, I will be staying as 0 and it will be an infinite loop. It will never end, right? So we are incrementing I so that after a certain time it becomes more than 3 and this condition false. Then it will stop the loop. Okay, so I plus equal to 1 basically means I equal to I plus 1. Okay, we are printing the list items. It is 1, 2, 3. 0th index, 1th index and 2nd index. Next is function. Function is basically when you want to do a work again and again. So you don't want to write that in your code again and again, right? That's why you need functions. So to write a function, you write def. So that is how you define a function, and then the function name and then the variables you want to pass. Okay, I am passing a and b and I will be getting, and what I will be returning, a to the power b. The star sign means to the power in Python. Okay, so now if I call the function, if I write power, then I send 5, 2, it will return a to the power b means 5 to the power 2, that is 25, right? If I send 2 to the power 3, suppose, it will give me 8. Okay, so now if someone wants to write the main function in Python, okay, so main function in any language, main function is the one that is triggered the first. Okay, so now in Python, if you don't write anything, it will be considered as a part of the main function. Okay, But still, if you want to write the main function, in this way you can write it like if underscore name underscore equal to main, then whatever you want to write or whatever you want to do, write that. So now these are all the basic things, but there is one more very important concept in Python, that is called indentation. You can see there is no brackets when I am writing this, right? So in this function, suppose if you want to do 10 words or if you want to write more than one line, how to define that, how to say that, how this function will understand that all these lines falls under mine. Okay, so then this indentation thing comes. Indentation is nothing but the space here, okay, that is called indentation. So after the colon, whatever we are writing, they are starting from the same place. Generally we use 2 spaces or 4 spaces. So if we give tab, okay, so now how it matters, suppose I am writing b equal to b plus 1, okay, so it will return 2 to the power 4, okay, so it's 16. So these 2 lines are under this power function. So how Python is understanding that? Because of this indentation, both of them are starting from the same places, they have same number of spaces beside. If I do not give this, it will be an error, okay, see, you can see the red line. If you try to run this, it will give an error and it will clearly say indentation error. So that's why we need to correct this indentation. We are giving tab, now it is properly indented. Now it is giving the proper output. So in Python basics, these are the things you need to learn mandatorily, and even if you are trying to learn some other language, these are the concepts you have to learn, like conditions, loops, functions, data types. So these are the things you need to know.
Thank you so much for watching the video till the end, and stay tuned for more such videos. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe our channel and share with your friends who also want to learn Python.